Hello, Bitcoin fans, investors, and traders. Today is September 7th. This is Current Wave, cwaccount.com. I just wanted to go over the prior posting of Bitcoin for our chart. This was the post on the September 4th. We felt that we didn't really get a clear count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for minute wave C. That's the minute wave C orange there. So we were looking for a bit higher price to complete minor wave B. And if you look at next day, we posted the alternate B where it could go a little higher and possibly hit the upper channel of the double zigzag, which we calculated to be about 11,100 or 11,200. But last night, the minor B got completed at 10,933, and when it did so, it had an abrupt drop with comments coming from the FRB. I think one of the Fed board member have stated negatively about the Bitcoin, and it had a tremendous volume that brought the Bitcoin down to about 10,218. This is the print that we're seeing right now, and it looks like this is the first minute wave. We see clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you look at that on the in the more of a near-term count. If you dig into an hour count, you get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 read. So we think that small 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ended at 10,218, and it looks like we need to go a little bit higher to complete minor wave 2 before we go lower. But if you look at the scenario here, I mean, this is a daily chart, and haven't really posted this daily until today. I mean, look at this. In order for us to really take this Bitcoin higher, I always stated we have to go lower. And this red line is just really that it's a 9,000 level. I think it was a 9,100 here, 9,084. I think we bounced off here at 92, 9,300. So bottom line is we need to take this out to create. I mean, if you look at it, what's missing here? ABCW, ABCX, AB. We're missing a huge leg. It cannot go up until this leg is drawn. And whether this leg gets down to 8,400, which is the 0.5 Fibonacci level, right here. So, or if it's a lower trend line that hits, and that's a coinciding with the 0.618 Fibonacci, which is around 7,300. We must get there. I mean, we don't have to get to the 0.618, but we have to take out that red line and go lower and have a final flush out. I think that's going to coincide with some negative news, some major news that's going to really flush out the longs. I'm sure it's going to be very negative, and that's how the Elliott wave works, is that when you see an inflection point and when you see an Elliott wave turn, it usually coincides with the real nasty news from mainstream media. But again, going into the mainstream media stuff, I mean, this is on September 5th. Bitcoin price now in early phase of the next bull cycle, analyst says. September 4th, when it hit this, it was hovering around 10,000, I think 700, 800. I mean, you would have dropped 400 points after this. So this just it reinforces our thesis stating that you cannot focus on these junk headlines. Just focus on the wave count. It's pure. Look at the other headline that we saw. Bitcoin price prime for liftoff above 11K. This came out on September 5th when it was hovering at 10,800. And this next headline is the ultimate. Bitcoin pioneer Adam Back. BTC price at 50,000. Not far off. And he talks about why it's going to hit 50,000. He mentioned that the May 2020 date, which is the Bitcoin block reward reduction from 12.5 to 6.25 BTC per block, which is called that halving. Geopolitical uncertainty, Venezuela or Argentina, Hong Kong, the China issue. These geopolitical turmoil would create and have people migrate to the digital currency because they do not believe in these countries' fiat currency where the inflation rate is astronomical, or $17 trillion of a negative yielding bonds, or modern monetary theory, MMT, which is effectively an economic framework that says governments should heavily utilize fiscal policy to boost their economy. I mean, 50,000, maybe it's in the cards, but it cannot be in the cycle because the cycle 19,800 was the high for the wave 3, intermediate wave 3. So next fifth wave is going to take that out, but um, I don't think it's going to be 50,000. I mean, maybe after that cycle ends, the initial cycle, then you get another ABC. Then maybe in the higher cycle, maybe, but that's just irresponsible for to say something like 50,000, not far off. I think that's just to lure the longs here, just to get them to take the bid. But we just think that any upside here is a sucker's rally, like we stated. Focus on the Elliott wave count. If you look at the news from Google search or what have you, or YouTube, there's way too many analysts stating that they're the ones that should their picks are the ones that's going to be right. They follow these strict moving average plays where the support and resistance level is there, followed by a lot of the oscillators that follow. It's all junk. Okay, I understand that these other tools could be a great uh, utilization to have this approach holistically, but you got to put the Elliott wave in the forefront. And you could also put the divergences from RSI to MACD stochastic. That should be the secondary. So you need to have those things support that, but you cannot be the primary. You cannot just go by the moving average that everybody goes by. You can't create an edge by following what everybody else does. Stay away from these junky headlines and just focus on the wave count because it's pure. And what I'm doing is I'm not giving you my own subjective forecasting here of this how this Bitcoin is going to trade. I'm just giving you the pure interpretation of what Elliott wave sequence is telling me, and I think we're pretty good at that. We've projected the S&P top recently at 3,020. So we are, we've been at this Elliott wave game for a very long time. We feel that the U.S. market, even though we had a little bounce here with another same narrative with the China and U.S. getting back to negotiating tables, that's just short term. That news is not going to sustain this rally. I know that we're seeing a little melt up here, but equity market is going back to the lows here, and the triangle formation of the S&P is very discernible. So we think that all is going to just coincide together, and we feel that the Bitcoin price within the next month or two is going to really be flushed out here, and it's going to offer solid opportunity. So until then, until probably another 3 or 4 days, I will report back to you with another 4 hour in the daily count. So this is Current Wave, cwcount.com.